Yeah, boss of YouTube. Yeah, it's been a while. First off, I want to say I'm really sorry, guys. I've actually been really sick the past like week and a half, and of course, you guys know I got a job, got a son, got all this other stuff going on in my life, so I've just been really busy. I thought I would have more free time, but being sick kind of makes you a lot tired. And I have asthma too, which it's not really helpful with the cold and all that. But yeah, I got a haircut, if you couldn't tell. This is gonna be just a quick update and also introduction to this off-season league I am a part of that a good friend of mine made. I'm actually a part of two off-season leagues that one of my friends made one and another one of my friends made one. So this is the draft for the first one that we finished. So shout outs to my boy Scatty. That's how I like to say his name. Shady, whatever you want to call him. Not Shady Penguin. I'll leave Shoddy's link in the description. You guys can check it out. The first week matchups have already been up, so the first video will be up. For the first week match will be up probably by Sunday or like sometime Monday. This is going to be on Showdown. Now, before you guys leave, Wi-Fi battling and Wi-Fi battles in general will hopefully come back to the channel. It's just being able to find time to get a team to my friend to be able to Pokegen for me, and then I'll be able to actually do the match, because again, I am busy. I thought I would have more free time, and I don't, and I apologize about that, but I will be trying to upload again as much as I can. I do feel better. I do have a little bit of a cough. Hopefully it doesn't happen while I'm introducing my SCL team, which is it's literally called the Shoddy Casual League because it's just a league for fun. I'm not in, as far as I know, I should be okay for UCL Season 2. Don't quote me on that though. Nappy still has to get back to me, and I still gotta talk to him all about that. But this is just two fun off-season leagues. They are going to be on Showdown just because it's too much of a hassle to do Wi-Fi for leagues, at least right now. But again, I will try to bring Wi-Fi back. Showdown Lives will also be coming back. Don't worry about that. Also, my room is a giant mess because my bathroom is getting renovated and it's right next to my room, so I had to pull out my wall for some whatever reason. Plus, this is really nice because I actually did want to kind of rearrange my room. So this is kind of like, hey, do it when you have the time. But right now I haven't uploaded in a while, and I really want to introduce my team because I'm excited for this off-season league. Hopefully you guys are as well. If you guys haven't noticed, I've actually no, what am I trying to say? Well, no, nothing. It's been a while since I've recorded something. I apologize, but let's get into the team. So the team logo that I will be using for this season is my DURHAM DRUDDIGONS logo, just for the fact that the EXP NU unfortunately is no more. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but yeah, unfortunately got canceled, and it's just Black Series Superiors. We made it to the playoffs at least, which is really great, but hey, it is what it is. Stuff happens. But yeah, let's take a look at the team that I did choose. Obviously, I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of put like some images like right here where like all my stuff is so to kind of cover up the clutter. Again, honestly, rooms are renovated. Yeah, anyways, the very first Pokemon I went for, well, actually I should tell you the rules now that I think about it. We went off of a point-based system. I think the PPL does the same thing. I've never heard of the PPL until this league, so yeah, sorry, no offense to anybody. But basically everybody had $100 million, you know, 100 million points or whatever you want to refer to it as, and every Pokemon costs however many million. Some were 20 million if they were really good in league format, some were 2 million if they were really bad in league format, and everybody had to choose between 8 to 11 Pokemon. You didn't have to have a Mega because obviously Megas are more than regular Pokemon, but you don't have to have a Mega. I did get a Mega, so spoilers. And then from there on out, everybody gets at least 8 Pokemon, and then if after 8 Pokemon you don't want to draft anymore, I think you can save your points to be able to use throughout the rest of the season to pick up other Pokemon, or if you drop a Pokemon that you picked, you get 75% of what you pay for them back, which is really nice because it adds on to what points you already have. So yeah, I think that's a quick introduction. Scatty, I like to call him Scatty. Scatty made up the points, I think, and he actually did have a pretty good point system. I definitely think he's cut out for arranging leagues. Maybe he'll make a big one in the future. I don't know, but definitely check him out. And yeah, I'm rambling. It's been 4.5 minutes. No, it's almost been 5 minutes. I apologize. Anyways, first mon that I decided to pick for the DURHAM DRUDDIGONS for this off-season league that we are obviously going to win because we were unable to finish the CL due to personal, real, actual personal life reasons, not just because I was lazy and I didn't want to do it. But yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on. For those of you who didn't know, don't want to get into details about it. But yeah, anyways, I originally was going to go with my one love from EXPNU, the mighty Mega Altaria. Then I thought about it and I was like, well, if this is a fun league, I do kind of want to try some different mods that'll kind of inspire me to try on future league formats. Maybe I'll find something that's kind of underrated, something that's not, that a lot of people don't expect. Then I thought about Mega Charizard X, because in UCL, it put in the mightiest of work. It was literally just OHKOing or 2KOing almost any and every Pokemon that was switched into it or that I brought it in on. Unfortunately though, with Charizard, I realized that it does need a lot of support due to it being 4 times weak to rocks at first. Then after Mega Evolving, it's still 2 times weak to rocks, so I would need to find a lot of reliable ways to get rid of hazards, and unfortunately I didn't properly do that in UCL, which I think was a huge downfall for me. But yeah, I almost really picked Charizard. I actually got really lucky and we got the first pick, so I can literally pick from any Pokemon that I want. Don't worry, not every Pokemon intro will be this long. It's the very first pick. I think the first pick you make is crucial in letting people know, oh, how are you going to potentially build, if you're going to go offensive, defensive, or like maybe balance potentially. So after looking around for it, and I finally narrowed it down to 3 choices. It was either Mega Altaria, Manaphy, or Weavile. Manaphy because I saw my boy Joey put in the mightiest of work with it in UCL when I watched his matches. So ultimately I decided to go with Manaphy just because it was 15 million as opposed to 20 million where Mega Altaria was. So I decided to go with Manaphy just because Manaphy is actually a humongous threat. The fact that you can get +3 special attack in just 1 turn and then pretty much nuke any wall the following turn, it's such an awesome powerhouse. As 100 base stats across the board, it's bulky, has pretty good speed in the rain. You can go rest, defensive with calm mind, rest, and just Manaphy has a lot of potential. I think it would definitely put in a lot of work and be a giant threat to my other opponent's team. You can also even have Power Fire for Ferrothorn. You can have Shadow Ball. I think you learn Signal Beam. Just Manaphy is an awesome all-around Pokemon. And something else that I've kind of wanted to start doing is giving my Pokemon like certain nicknames. So if you guys have any suggestions for those, let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, moving on to our second round pick. The second round pick was another pick that I really thought about, because originally I did want to go with because again I got the wheel pick, so I get 2 picks this round. Well, it's round 2, then it's round 3, but it starts with me again, if you get what I'm trying to say. So I end round 2, but I start round 3, and then the last person ends round 3 and starts round 4. So they got wheel pick. I managed to get wheel pick, which is really nice. I was going to get, I think it was Crobat and Mega Gardevoir. Ultimately though, after thinking about it more, I decided to go with Mega Scizor and Talonflame. Mega Scizor just because I haven't really used Mega Scizor a lot though, but when I do watch Showdown Lives, I definitely see that it can be a humongous threat. So I thought in this format, the fact that it's already 20 million means that it's definitely going to be pretty good. It's really bulky. It can be just defensive. It can be support with defog. It can even get Baton Pass. You can Baton Pass Swords Dance to my 3rd round pick actually, which was Talonflame. Could you imagine Baton Passing a Swords Dance to Talonflame? You just come in and you just nuke everything. And Talonflame already is such an amazing Pokemon in my opinion, just because of the priority Brave Bird. In my opinion, in league formats, from what I've seen, people don't typically prepare for flying type stabs very well, or if they do, it's normally 1 or 2 Pokemon that if you get the right counters for, you can eventually build around. For example, Steel types stop flying types, right? But Talonflame's a fire type, so it goes hand in hand. So the only real types I have to worry about are rock types, which I actually chose a Pokemon to completely shut down rock types, which I'll get into after I finished talking about, I didn't really talk about Scizor, but I was really happy to get Scizor because I can definitely see it being a huge threat, just because after Mega Evolving, offensive SD hits like a truck after a Swords Dance. It can already hit pretty hard with U-Turn. It's really bulky. Talonflame can be defensive with Bulk Up, or it can just be annoying with Taunt, Will-O-Wisp. It can be aggressive with Swords Dance, just be an ultimate revenge killer with Choice Band or Brave Bird. Just an all-around really amazing solid pick, I think. I really do like my first 3 picks so far. I definitely think that the team is being built pretty well. So moving on, everybody else picked, everybody spoke back. Rounds 4 and 5. So this next pick, I'm still a little bit iffy about. I decided to go with Celebi. Now the reason why I went with Celebi was because, alright, we had a little bit of an issue there. Anyways, my 4th round pick, I'm still a little bit iffy about this pick just because I want it to be really good. I really hope it puts in a lot of work and it can prove to me that it deserves to stay, because I think at this point, if I need to drop a mon, it'll probably be this Pokemon. My 4th round pick was Celebi. I know that's a little bit questionable. My basic idea behind it was I need a good grass type. I kind of want something with Psychic Stab. I want something that has Heal Bell, that can provide me momentum support with Baton Pass or U-Turn, and Celebi really did fit all of those roles. If I don't know if Shaman was picked up to this point, but I'm pretty sure Shaman was picked up to this point. Was it? I don't know. Yeah, Shaman was actually picked by Ellie this round. So I was originally gonna go for Shaman because Shaman is probably one of the, if not the best grass type in this format, just because Spadef drops from Seed Flare can really mess up special walls. It hits really hard. It can be well, no, I mean Life Orb is pretty good. I haven't played this game in a while. Oh my lord, I feel so dumb right now saying some of the stuff I'm saying. Hopefully you guys can bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my head in the game. But yeah, I was actually kind of happy to get Celebi just because, again, I think it may be an underrated Pokemon, and I really hope it does put in work. It gets Nasty Plot. It has Baton Pass and Nasty Plot. That's actually something that kind of just dawned on me. I can Baton Pass and Nasty Plot to Manaphy, already get it putting in some work at +2. I could pass it off to some of my other special attackers on the team as well. It's really bulky. I really don't have to worry about grass types or water types with this mon. What else? Ground types either. Just Celebi, I think, may be a weak link, but I have high hopes. I really have high hopes. I really do. So moving on to the 5th pick for the Durham Druddigons in the SCL, I chose to get Tentacruel. Now, at this point, I realized, alright, I already have a really good Defogger and Mega Scizor. My only weakness is Fire, so I kind of want a wall that is... I want a water type, obviously, is what I'm trying to say. And Tentacruel actually fits the bill really well, just because it's really bulky. It has Toxic Spikes, it has Rapid Spin, it can go offensive with Swords Dance if you really wanted to, as a pretty decent special attack set as well. Base 100 speed, which is a lot faster than some other walls, so I can outspeed them, potentially burn them with Scald. I don't think Tentacruel gets Taunt. If it does learn Taunt, that's definitely something to put on there. T-Spikes also are tremendously helpful, because I feel that that's an entry hazard some people overlook when they build teams for leagues. Normally, I like to consider all entry hazards. Obviously, if I have a Pokemon with Flying type, then I need something to get rid of hazards. Obviously, I want something to get rid of hazards, a good Defogger, Spinner, etc, blah blah blah. That's what I'm trying to say here. Tentacruel, I think, is a very solid Rapid Spinner in the league format, so I definitely thought it would be a good fit on the team. Not to mention that, again, it does synergize well with Mega Scizor. Yes, I already have Manaphy as a water type, but it's fine, because my thought process after picking Tentacruel was, okay, for my next 2 picks, I'm going to pick a ground type, and I'm going to pick something with Lightning Rod or Volt Absorb, preferably, because at this point, I'm basically down to my last couple points, because Manaphy was 1,500, no, 15 million, Scizor was 20 million, which is 35 million right there. Talonflame was 15 million again, so that's 50 million if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really good for math, so I apologize if I do this wrong. So that's 50 million. Celebi was 13 million and Tentacruel was 23 million. So I think that's 73 million right there out of 100 million that I have left. So at this point, I have to pick cheaper mons that are still going to do well, or that can still fulfill the roles that I need them to fill. And luckily, I was able to do that with my next 2 round picks. First off, after picking Tentacruel, I picked Dugtrio. Now, Dugtrio, in my opinion, is something that's really underrated in League format, just because just knowing that your opponent has something with Arena Trap, or something, well, Shadow Tag's banned, I guess. Well, Magna Pull, I guess, in this case. It will make them think twice of wanting to bring a Rock or Steel type Pokemon, which, what Pokemon do I have? Talonflame. Scizor doesn't like Steel types. What Pokemon do I have? Dugtrio. So basically, Dugtrio can provide a lot of support for my Talonflame and my Mega Scizor alone. If I get rid of my opponent's Rock types, I just bring in Talonflame, spam Brave Bird. If I get rid of their Steel types, I can just get rid of them with Duck Trio and still spam Brave Bird, or I can just switch up to Flare Blitz. And Sizzler, obviously, well, I mean, Sizzler doesn't really care for Steel types, but it is nice to be able to get past him so you're not forced to set up already, and then hit him with a superpower, so you're already at -1 defense and you're only at +1 attack. This way, I have Duck Trio to trap them and knock them out. So I thought Duck Trio was a really solid pick. Yes, it doesn't really hit that hard, but it does just play mind games with your opponent. And it also gets access to Stealth Rocks, which I wanted another type of Stealth Rocker. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to fit T-Spike. No, I mean not T-Spikes. I wasn't able to fit regular spikes on my picks, which was a little bit upsetting, but it's fine. We're still going to do good. Then after picking Duck Trio just being a great phenomenal, well, I want to say phenomenal, but I think being a pretty good underrated support mon in this type of format, I decided to go with Raichu. Now, originally, I was going to go Raikou or Jolteon, and then ultimately Raichu. Somebody ended up picking Jolteon, like literally the round before me, I think, was when I picked Tentacruel. Yeah, so the round before me they picked Jolteon. So ultimately, I looked through Small Gun and I realized Raichu is actually really not a bad pick. Raichu has base 110 speed, which I think is like 350 max, which is pretty speedy. It has a base 90 special attack, which is solid in my opinion. It has Nasty Plot. It has priority and extreme speed and fake out. It can learn Encore, which Encore in itself is really good to stop setup Pokemon, and potentially run like a Encore Nasty Plot set to set up after you've already Encore them and stop them from setting up, if you get what I'm trying to say. So I think Raichu will definitely put in some work. I'm really excited. Also, I know my boy Bice Productions used it in one of his leagues, so I think he actually used it in EXPNU if I'm not mistaken. So definitely going to put in some work with the boy Raichu. And I think, yeah, that was my 2 picks. So at this point we go back to everybody again, back to me for my final 2 picks. Now my final 2 picks were really hard. These last 2 picks were really difficult for me, just because I thought that these 2 picks were way too good together that eventually somebody else was going to pick them. So for my first to last pick, I chose Gramble, because at this point I don't really have a solid physical wall, I don't have a fairy type, and I get utterly destroyed by a strong fighting type stab move. I mean, yes, I have Tentacruel and yes, I have Talonflame, but I mean, they don't really have the highest defense stat around. And like, if I'm not mistaken, I think a Scarfed Reckless High Jump Kick from Manchow still 2 KOs defensive Tentacruel, or like it's really close to 2 KOing. So I decided to choose Gramble because everybody at this point has a fairy, if I'm not mistaken, and all the good fairy types are gone. Clefable's gone, Sylveon's gone, I think Togekiss is gone. I don't really know how good Togekiss is in this format. Klefki's not really that popular, but you get what I'm trying to say. All the viable fairy types were gone, except for Gramble. And I really found it surprising that nobody chose Gramble. I really thought that this would definitely get picked up maybe like the round before, because at this point, everybody's starting to choose their lower cost Pokemon to fit on their team. And Gramble was only worth 6 million, so I thought, well, if somebody picks this up, then I have to pick a backup. So my backup was going to be Whimsicott, just because Whimsicott has Prankster. Again, I can stop Mons from setting up. I have speed control with priority stun spore if I hit. And luckily, nobody chose Gramble, so I managed to steal Gramble from everybody, in my opinion. I really hope, again, Gramble is another mon that I really hope just puts in a lot of work. It's very bulky, gets Heal Bell, gets T-Wave, hits pretty hard with Play Rough, just an all-around pretty good mon, in my opinion. Plus, Intimidate is really good to have in this type of format, which is why Landorus is it Landorus? No, Landorus Therian is so popular. Although, surprisingly enough, nobody chose Landorus Therian in this league, which, hey, I mean, again, fun season. Understandable. So, moving on to my last pick, and this is a pick I know Ellie does not really like. I chose Kingdra. Now, obviously you guys don't know everybody else's teams, right? Unless you watch their videos or you watch all the matches. But Kingdra can actually put in so much work against a good majority of these teams, and I realized this in UCL and kind of in EXPNU. Kingdra, I think, is actually really underrated, because Modest, Hydro Pump, or just Draco, Dragon Pulse, Kingdra can actually hit really hard, and because I already have Manaphy that kind of typically run Rain Dance, I can pair it up with Kingdra to bring it in late game after Manaphy's already destroyed walls, or vice versa, something, I don't know. Kingdra can even run the Critdra set with agility, it's Sculpt Lens, agility, and focus energy, and just destroy everything. It can go physical, special, mix. It just, Kingdra is just one of those mons that I really think is going to pressure a lot of people, because I think it's something that was really overlooked. It was only worth 10 million, which again is why I was really surprised it wasn't picked, because this is what I was originally going to get. I was going to get Granbull and Kingdra. That was my top pick for my last 2 picks in this season, which luckily I was able to get. If one of those had been taken away, my backup would have been Whimsicott and Sableye. Sableye because, again, I don't have any way to stop fighting on my team. Sableye completely stops fighting moves because it is a ghost type. Something just fell. But luckily, Kingdra was here, and I would have much rather had Granbull and Kingdra than Whimsicott and Sableye. So, all in all, I'm really happy with our draft. We have Manaphy, just a fucking crazy powerhouse after a Tail Glow. We have Mega Scizor, crazy bulk, defog, Swords Dance, agility even if you want to go like that. We have Talonflame. Talonflame! This thing was spammed like crazy at the beginning of X and Y, and it's still really good. So priority Brave Bird, fast Will-O-Wisps, taunt. Oh, this thing is so awesome. Then we have Celebi, which again, oh, I really hope Celebi puts in work. I really want it to. I really do. Then we have Tentacruel. Just a nice fat wall. Nice great spinner as well. I have a spinner and a defogger. So happy about that. Next up we have Dugtrio, which again, another Pokemon that may play mind games with my opponent, allowing to open up windows for my other walls to come in and sweep. Raichu, a nice fast mon that could potentially stop setup with Encore, could be a sweeper in its own right with Nasty Powder, just hit ridiculously hard with the choice specs. Finally, we have the great duo of Granbull and Kingdra. Oh, excuse me. Too excited. Granbull, just an awesome mon. In my opinion, really bulky, great stats. Intimidate is a beautiful ability, great fairy typing. And then we have the sleeper mon, in my opinion, good old Kingdra, which will hopefully put the DRUDDIGONS on his back and prove why he should definitely be worth a lot more than just 10 million, or just more in league formats in general. But yeah, guys, that is the Durham DRUDDIGONS for the SCL. Of course, if you guys are behind me in the season, make sure to show off your support. Hit the like button down below. Check out the first week's battle, which will be up sometime this weekend or on Monday. Not too sure. Gotta talk to Scatty about that. Check out Scatty. he's gonna be really mad that I'm calling him that. But just, I'm really excited. I really am. Hopefully you guys are as well. I can try to get back into uploading. I'm finally not sick, starting to feel a lot better. Showdown Lives will be coming back. Wi-Fi Battles will be starting again, and hopefully that LP will start as well, because I know I need to get on that, because I have the graphics. I just have to find time to actually like download it and start. But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. I know it's been a while. I apologize. Hopefully this won't go through another dry spell. And with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.